Hello and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 2, where today we'll be continuing on with Jurassic Park 2022. Now this time, it's not quite as long, it's not quite the 4 hours I put in last time, but, well, I should say it wasn't 4 hours worth of recording. I probably put in more work because I was doing a lot more decoration work than I was last time, as you'll see in the final shots, but, as far as recording goes, it wasn't too bad. In this video, we got on with a large herbivore enclosure that had Brachiosaurus, Parasaurolophus, and Stegosaurus. I believe that's it. And then we also had a Monolophosaurus enclosure, a Proceratosaurus enclosure, a Triceratops enclosure, and a little central area that had Homalocephali in it. Really happy with how this build's going. I'm still really, like, usually I'll start a park and I'll be like, hey, this is not too bad, or this is pretty good. And then as it kind of continues, I look at it and go, do I really like this? But with this one, it's going really well. And it's just like, as you fill it out more, it just keeps looking better and better. And just like the big centerpiece of this, I guess tour. It's a tour, but like, I don't know. I want to name it something other than a large herbivore enclosure, like I don't know. It's a large herbivore enclosure. Enough now. But yeah, no, that looks really great because it's just this big natural area where you've got like these nice hills and this big kind of like river type thing going through. It looks really nice when it's next to the more built up, I guess, areas of the little guest section that I'm doing at the moment, and you know, the aviary, and then we'll probably have some hotels on that upper section. So just that really nice big nature area looks really good amongst all the kind of concrete and whatnot. And like, you know, that's what I'm trying to keep with this park, keep a lot of nature going. You'll see when I do some path work later on that I do make sure to have sections where I have little water features, I guess you could say, and some like little gardens and stuff, and it looks really good. You know, it doesn't make it too much of an eyesore. It makes it really pretty to look at. So I'd say that means it's going pretty well. Now, like I said in the last speed build, I did say that, God, I'm repeating my words here, but I want these speed builds to actually have some substance to them, well, the voiceover anyway, because I don't want it to be me just saying the same thing over and over like what I'm doing now, and that I wanted to actually talk about something related to at least dinosaurs or the Jurassic franchise. And I do have something to talk about today. It's what I started in the last video, but didn't end up actually having time to finish what I was saying, and that's talking about the potential next DLC. People are a bit concerned that we haven't gotten any sort of news or teaser yet, and that's fair because we're getting into March now, and honestly, if we don't see it this week, I'm gonna be a bit confused, because that means they're not really sticking to their schedule, unless they're just wanting to make the release date later in the month. But I don't know. It feels like ages since we've had the Malta expansion. I mean, it was last year that we got it. To be fair, it was in December, but you know, it has been a while. And obviously, this isn't going to be a big DLC either. This is just going to be a dinosaur pack, unless for some reason they're going to wait until midway through the year to do the big Jurassic Park 30-year anniversary celebration. But I think that wouldn't be smart, because then the player base would go down, and because, you know, they're not releasing new content. So I hope something's coming. And what I wanted to talk about here is the species that could be coming. In terms of the free update, I mean, that could be anything. There's no real predicting that. Just the one thing I really hope they add in this update over everything else that is very possible that they could add is infinite feeders. Please, I want infinite feeders. The hunting animations are so awesome in this game. The lagoon shark feeder animations are so great. but I don't want to have to send out ranger teams to refill the feeders, or, you know, set up the little ranger outposts in the enclosures to have the rangers go fill them up. I don't want to do that, because that's just, it makes the park look ugly when you have a bunch of jeeps driving around. You have to worry about having a gate that's accessible, and it looks fine in your enclosures. So yeah, I want infinite feeders, please. Everyone wants infinite feeders. Why is it so hard? Why do we not have it? The first game had it at launch. Why didn't we have it at launch? Why are we over a year into this game's lifespan? And I struggle with lifespan, but why are we over a year into it and we don't have any sort of unlimited feeder? That should have been there at launch. Anyway, this is too much of an angry rant about something I didn't even want to talk about, really. I did want to bring it up because, you know, it's something I'm passionate about. I really want those infinite feeders, but they're not giving it to us, and I don't know why. But I'm going to get on with what species I think could come to the new DLC. And I have 5 species picked out. They're based on kind of Frontier's pattern with these dinosaur packs, if you exclude the deluxe expansion. But even then, take out Huangosaurus, and you have the same pattern, which is a carnivore, a herbivore, a flying reptile, and a marine reptile. Now I have 5 species, and that's because I've got 2 carnivores. And, you know, it's an either or type thing. I'd be happy with either of them. Actually, really, I mean, most of the dinosaurs and marine reptiles I know really only come from the Cretaceous period, because, you know, we have a lot more on that than we do the other periods. And also a lot of the cool marine reptiles seem to be in the Triassic, which is not great, because what I think this next DLC is, and what a lot of people think, is going to be some sort of Jurassic era based DLC. So, you know, whether it be like what they did for the Cretaceous era stuff with early Jurassic and then late Jurassic. So either way, they'd be cool. These species that I have here are based, you know, they're from either they're just throughout the entire Jurassic period. They're not from, you know, they're either early, mid, or late Jurassic. So yeah, that's just because I couldn't really find a lot of well-known species or species that I would like to see that fit into just one of those categories. So I've kept it to whatever in the Jurassic period, pretty much. Just dinosaurs from the Jurassic period that I'd like to see. So the first one, I'll start off with the herbivore, because people aren't really that much, you know, they're not really excited for herbivores like they are carnivores. But the first herbivore, well, the herbivores, I've only got one. The herbivore I'd like to see would be some sort of prosauropod. So I was thinking Plateosaurus, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I might be wrong, I wouldn't be surprised. But that turns out to be a Triassic era dinosaur. So I looked up ones that were prosauropods that were in the Jurassic period, early Jurassic period. And the one I found 2. I can't remember the name of the first one, but I didn't choose it because it was another American dinosaur. And I thought, well, we could use a bit more variation and have a dinosaur that is instead from Africa. And I'm gonna butcher its name here, but it's called Massos pondylus, or Pondylus. And it's just, you know, your standard prosauropod. If you don't know what they look like, they're pretty much imagine, I guess, if you fused a Therizinosaurus with a sauropod. You they kind of stand up on those, or, you know, they're depicted as standing up on their hind legs a lot. They've got that kind of sauropod skin and that kind of sauropod look, but they're a bit smaller. They got the long neck and everything. But yeah, they're interesting looking, so I think they would be a very cool addition to the game. The carnivores I have, now I've got 2 carnivores here. The first one is Torvosaurus, which I believe is one of the biggest carnivores from the Jurassic era, and one that I believe fans would be pretty happy with. It's a fairly well-known dinosaur, which, you know, gives it some some potential to actually being added compared to the one we just talked about. But the other carnivore I have is one that was one of my, actually no, it was my favorite modded species from the first game, and that is Yanchuanosaurus. If they use the look of the modded species, oh my god, I think it was by Jagged Fang Design, I think that's what the model was called, but oh my god, was that model was so beautiful. If they could add that, that would be great. But yeah, Torvosaurus or Yanchuanosaurus, I feel like it's been a while since we got a large carnivore in the game, so I think it's about time they added another one, and those two are excellent candidates for a large carnivore. Now for our flying reptile, I thought we'd go with something fairly basic. I was hoping Pterodostro would be able to make it into the Jurassic, but they were early Cretaceous, I think. Pterodostro is probably one of the main flying reptiles I'd like to see come to the game. But the one I've chosen is the standard of the pterosaurs. God, I lost my words for a second there. And that is Pterodactylus. I mean, it was the first one discovered. It kind of starts, you need to have that, don't you? We have Iguanodon and Megalosaurus, which was some of the first dinosaurs ever to be found, so why not go with one of the first flying reptiles to ever be found? I think that would be really cool. They'd have to make it a bit more unique from the Pteranodon though, maybe a bigger, more elaborate crest or something, similar to the Pteranodons, just, I don't know, like I said, longer and more elaborate. That would be really cool. And finally, for our marine reptile, I was thinking maybe some sort of ichthyosaur, but in the end, I landed on Dacosaurus, which is a really unique looking, compared to what we have in the game so far. It's a very unique looking marine reptile. I think it's a very awesome looking reptile, and it is from the early Jurassic, I believe, but I may be wrong there. I didn't want to go for a plesiosaur. You know, we've already got Elasmosaurus, Plesiosaurus, Attenborosaurus, Styxosaurus. You know, they're all very similar looking. I wanted to go for something different, and like I said, I was hoping for some sort of ichthyosaur, but in the end I decided against it and just chose Dacosaurus, because there wasn't a lot of interesting ichthyosaurs, or at least not from what I could find, that were a part of the Jurassic period. But yeah, those are the species that I've picked out that would be pretty interesting candidates. I'd be interested to see what you guys think could come. I'll probably do a separate video for the 30th anniversary, what we could see there. But yeah, that probably won't come with speed build. Next time, I'll probably talk about just, you know, I already briefly mentioned it here, but species I'd like to see come to the game. I've already done things other than, I had animals in there, I believe, but I've already got a video on a Jurassic wish list, but now I'll refine it to only species that I'd like to see, even though there's a lot that still need to come to this game. But now you're getting the overview shots of this park that is just turning out amazingly. I love how this is going, but yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this one. I enjoyed making it. I actually enjoyed talking about something for once, and I hope you enjoyed me not just waffling on about the park. So yeah, if you liked it, make sure you like it, subscribe. God, I don't know where this is going. I never say it like this. I'm just going to revert to my actual intro, which is thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!